What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Kakis, and today we've got some brand spanking new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, revealing official information. And so, let's get started. But just before we do, my wife is pregnant, which means she's pretty sensitive to certain smells. Do you want some pickles?
What are you eating?
It's pickled herring. I just finished all 3 of my raids in one sitting.
Oh, you stink!
What? But she does love everything in the Manscaped Ultra Premium Collection. We've got the hydrating body wash, which I used today. That was the only way we could film the armpit skit without her actually barfing.
True.
And then we've got the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, non-greasy as well. Then we've got the hydrating body spray. That's gonna give you some great scent. And the aluminum-free Manscaped deodorant, all of which is going to be scented with that refined Manscaped cologne, which smells fantastic. But I gotta hook you guys up because, of course, if you click the link in the description down below, not only are you gonna get 20% off the entire premium collection, but you're also gonna get free international shipping. Oh, and you're also gonna get a free gift, the Manscaped Lip Balm. Don't walk around with those crusty lips. And gamers, I've seen you in Iron Banner, and I've seen you now that Trials is back on. I know you're sweating. So you gotta keep on top of your hygiene and click the link in the description down below to get that Manscaped Ultra Premium Collection. Now, first things first, as for what happened this week in Destiny 2, the Vow of the Disciple raid challenges went live. So, right now the first encounter is featured. Next week it'll be the second encounter and so on. If you complete the optional challenge, you're gonna get a second raid reward chest, so definitely worth doing, and I've done a guide on how to do this one. It is linked up above. But moving on from there, at Tuesday's reset, we also got a hotfix which did a few very interesting things. First off, in terms of Gambit, they fixed weapons getting PvE damage values, so people were one-shotting with the Ariana's Vow. You're not going to be able to do that anymore. And speaking of Gambit, they reduced the cost of focusing Gambit engrams if you're chasing that specific loot. Moving on from there, they also increased the resource caps for pretty much every single weapon crafting resource. So if you've been holding on to red border deep sight weapons, this is a great time to go and complete them. And we also have a few important balancing changes. Firstly, the Sentinel Titan's Bastion Barricade now takes 20% increased damage from all player sources, so they're just gonna die a little bit easier. Additionally, targets with Void Invisibility now ping the radar for 0.6 seconds every 3 seconds until invisibility ends. Normal radar visibility rules still apply. So that's just gonna make the massive amount of invisibility hunters in the Crucible a little bit easier to detect when they're flanking you. Moving on from there, they fixed an issue where Child of the Old Gods could damage some targets through immunity shields, so you can no longer do that. Also, Glaives got a buff. They're now going to be able to reach full charge in 4 projectile hits instead of 6, which is going to matter quite a bit for all 3 exotic Glaives. But guys, moving on from there, let's get on to the brand new information revealed within the TWAB. So, first off, Bungie recently had their Game to Give annual charity event, and this year they raised a record amount of $2,011,000, and just insane 38,000 plus donors, 575 fundraisers across 103 countries, and that money went to support more than 100,000 children through entertainment and iPad goodness, and they also teamed up to send medical aid to Ukraine during this crisis. So moving on from there, some very interesting updates comes in the form of Bungie clarifying their account security policies. So last year they actually updated their security policies and how they will be taking action against account recoveries and account boosting services. So for those who don't know, for years and years and years, you could basically hire a boosting service, hand over your account information, and they would, beat a raid for you, go flawless in trials for you, etc. But obviously, this caused a lot of problems. You know, you would have situations where, especially later in the season, Trials was just all accounts being recovered. And also, if you handed over your account, sometimes the person recovering would be cheating and you had no way of knowing it, so people would get banned for cheating even though they themselves didn't cheat. It was a very messy thing. So going further into that, Bungie says it is referenced that players agreed to not allow access to their Destiny 2 accounts to anyone outside of their umbrella of ownership. Account boosting also falls under this restriction scope, which is where players will relinquish their accounts to boost their light levels and earn certain high level gear, which puts an unfair investment into one's character when paired up against those playing the game organically. They say using these types of services can tarnish competitive activities like Trials of Osiris, or even reduce the value of rewards from activities like raids and Grandmaster Nightfalls. To protect the integrity of these experiences, we are issuing the appropriate reprimands to a number of accounts in accordance with our policy. Our security team has this to say about our policies regarding account sharing. So they say specifically, in August 2021, Bungie adjusted its policy to clarify that account recovery, boosting, and players that benefit from these services were in violation of our terms of service. Since then, we have closely monitored suspected activity and issued our first ban wave against identified violators. We wanted to assure the community that we will faithfully enforce our policy on player conduct for even the most skilled or well-known players. So obviously, guys, this means don't sign up for any recovery services, but the fact that they're clarifying this right now to me means starting today and over the next few days, you're probably gonna see some streamers who do recovs getting banned. All right, moving on from there, something else very interesting is that there was huge drama within the Destiny 2 community when a bunch of well-known Destiny 2 YouTubers, you know, My Name is Bife being one of them, had their content copyright striked by, apparently, Bungie. However, importantly, Bungie actually came out and said, hey, this is not us. In fact, some of the content on Bungie's own channels has been copyright claimed by, you know, quote unquote, Bungie. So something weird was going on here. But today we got the conclusion of this story. So it turns out it was kind of a bad actor impersonating CSC. So CSC is a Bungie partner that aids in IP protection, and it did not go rogue or anything like that. There was a falsified CSC who was impersonated by lookalike email aliases, and they were going after people. So Google apparently has confirmed that the accounts that submitted these fraudulent takedowns have been removed. But of course, like, this is definitely going to be an issue in the future just because of how the YouTube copyright system works. YouTube immediately sides with the people making the copyright claim, and that's why a completely fraudulent account can just claim something out of the blue, and then the burden of proof is on the account that got the strike to prove that no, this is just gameplay from Destiny 2. So hopefully this and so many other examples will lead YouTube into potentially changing its policy or changing how it works, stuff like that. But they say going forward, Bungie is saying this, we will be allowing certain Destiny music tracks to be uploaded to channels for archival purposes. For those creators interested in this type of creation, the guidelines below should be reviewed. And the reason they're outlining this is because a little bit earlier, there was copyright strikes on channels that were just re-uploading the music from Destiny on their own channels and monetizing it and so on. And those apparently were legit kind of from Bungie wanting to take down that stuff. So again, you can still upload it for archival purposes. You just can't monetize it. And again, you have to abide by these guidelines. And the very last thing, guys, if you want to get your raid jacket, and you can have access to this if you beat the Vow of the Disciple raid before March 15th, you definitely need to put in your orders before midnight, March 31st. Otherwise, it goes away. the opportunity to buy it. So that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.